guests to the Toastmasters kitchen, where those who speaketh haveth their cake and eateth it too. I'm Chef Reyna. My fellow chefs and I are delighted to have you here today. Today, we will sadly not have the opportunity to introduce you to our fellow chefs, though always remember to introduce your guests to your fellow Toastmasters. For now, they asked me to say hello. So, hi! Would you please sign our guest book? Thank you. Here's your name card. As you can see here, we have this wonderfully organized kitchen in which our cake will be made. Just like our kitchen, we Toastmasters like to make sure we have a professionally organized meeting room so everything can run smoothly and cleanly. Sans explosions. This kitchen is in a spectacularly convenient place for me, right at home. While Zoom may lead you to be in your home, it's not what we're used to. Despite that, we know we'll return to our meeting location, our Toastmasters home, someday. The convenience and accessibility of our meeting location is very important. We need to make sure our fellow Toastmasters can attend. Over here, you'll see this lovely to-do list. We all love to see where we're at in our goals. It motivates us and keeps us on track. That's why I have this beautiful progress chart that I display and maintain. We all know the best recipes come from the best cookbooks and cooking blogs. Straying away into the territory of mediocre baking blogs can lead to an explosive or implosive disaster. Just like we need to stick to reliable recipes, we need to stick to manual projects so that, just as our cakes can be enjoyed fully, so can our achievements. Just like the best recipe bloggers keep their updates coming, our club should make sure to keep the information flowing through newsletters and online updates. We do a wonderful job, if I do say so myself. I do like this recipe right here. Let's get these out of here. This is our recipe. This is how we plan. We are distinguished in our cake making and our Toastmastering. The Distinguished Club plan is how we achieve that. The ink on the page and the pencil in my hand are where I make adjustments. Some of us need a bit of extra help reading the recipes. We need to be here for our fellow Toastmasters to make sure everyone gets the chance. Much better. How do you read your recipe? We need to learn about how all Toastmasters mix their ingredients so we can all have a good time. The cake is much better when we know what to improve, isn't it? Some of us need to learn how to mix better. Some of us need to learn how to make proper substitutions. Some of us need to learn how to measure the flour properly. Don't pack it in now. Just like some speakers need to learn how to make transitions, while some need to learn to eliminate their filler words, and some need to remember to stay within their allotted time. We need to address the needs of all members. Powdered sugar, vegetable oil, sprinkles. I have everything, and I'm good to go. Someone's got to buy the ingredients. Thanks for getting the vinegar, Mom. Likewise, someone's got to find the new Toastmasters. Before we start mixing our ingredients, we preheat the oven. The warmest greeting one could possibly hope to receive. Welcome, guests. This meeting will be delicious. Now it's time for us to prepare our 2 cake pans for later. Once you have your parchment cut, which I might say is the absolute most difficult part of baking, you get to do the fun part. First off, you grease your pan. When once you grease the inside of your cake pans, you put your parchment circles into your cake thingamabobbers. One last time, you grease it. When working in mini recipes, people tend to put, once they grease their pan, they tend to put flour on the inside of their cake pans. Now, since this is a red velvet chocolate cake, I like to use cocoa powder. So what you do, you take a little spoon, you grab some cocoa powder, and you sift it in. And now we'll move on to the next step. Be sure to formally induct your members and make sure they have all the supplies they need. When I was inducted, the president of the kitchen said, "I hereby present thee with the sifter. May it serve you well in your endeavors." Thank you. I still remember the day. We need a bit of creative freedom in here. Table topics are like flour. We need them. That's what makes everything come together. Without the flour, let's not talk about that. Without the table topics, we really don't talk about that. Get it? We don't talk. Hey. So now, I will first put the flour into our sifter to make sure it's light and fluffy once it gets into the mixture. 3 cups of flour. 1 cup. 2 cups. 3 cups. Next, we measure the salt. I always like to cut mine in half. So originally they said half a teaspoon. I change it to about 1/4 of a teaspoon, give or take a little bit. In we go. I always make sure to purchase my ingredients ahead of time. Take the cocoa powder, for example, the lifeblood of the cake. Without it, well, it's just not. Just like our speakers, without them, our meeting is, well, not. That's why, before every meeting, I like to make sure we have the prepared speaking slots filled. 2 tablespoons. Here's 1, and here's 2. Next, we measure out our baking soda. Always make sure to level out the top, and we've all had that moment. The spill. Dun, dun, dun! And there goes our member. Whoopsie daisy diddly do. Just as much as we'd rather not spill our ingredients, we want to retain our members. Thanks. That's why it's important that we listen to them and work our best to help them in a way that's right for specifically them. We don't want another baking soda, do we? Take 2. The baking soda is in, so we make sure they're safe and happy in the bowl with the rest of us. Mixy, mixy. It's time for the next step in our baking process. Butter. As they always say, everything, and I mean everything, is better with butter. Next, sugar. Sugar, would you like to become a part of this amazing cake? Yes? Welcome. How about you, garlic powder? No? Quite all right. See you when I see you, my friend. Maybe you'd like the guacamole club instead of the cake club. And now, we intensely mix our butter and our sugar. Yay! Now we move on to the next step. I need to make sure to have all my measuring tools ready for me to use them. If I don't know which measurement I need of oil, that won't really work out, will it? Oh, gosh. I don't think this would really be quite enough, would it? Yes. This recipe requires 1 cup of oil, not 2/3. And now, we separate the eggs. We have our cake whites off to the side. Okay, next up, vanilla. We set out the recipe beforehand to ensure we have all the ingredients. Now more than ever, we need to make sure we can get people in roles informed a few days ahead of time. The table topics master is the vanilla. If they don't know what recipe, aka topic, we were working on, then how on earth would we get our cake to bake right? Vinegar. A tad pungent, but absolutely necessary. Like the homework you don't feel like doing. Or the speech you haven't quite written yet. You know you want to, but you're procrastinating. It's time to put some of our ingredients together. Our dry ingredients, our wet ingredients, and our buttermilk. We need to be careful not to overmix. But don't worry, I'm an adult. I got this. Oh look, our pal, Red Food Coloring, just finished level 2 in their path. Amazing! We need to submit that to HQ right away. These egg whites have gone through a lot, haven't you? Well, the end of the journey is in sight. Your destiny awaits. You've certainly gone through a beating. And now we combine gently. This cake can't be a mix-in without the members, just like we need to involve our members in all aspects of club activities. Come on, egg whites. I know you can do it. Hurry up and mix. We divide our batter into the pans we prepared earlier, as evenly as possible. We try to make sure every layer of cake has a fair fighting chance. Things can get messy sometimes, but as long as we try in earnest to do our best, we'll succeed. And now it's time for one of the final steps in our cake making journey. The oven. In we go. See you on the other side. Meetings need to begin and end on time. Burnt cake. Need I say more? Just the other day, I got to visit another bakery, the Speaking Sponge Cake Bakery. We got to share recipes, goodies, and a good laugh. I learned so much. I wonder how the cake's doing. Looks like it's getting close to finish. We'll just wait a little bit longer and then we'll have our delicious, delicious cake. Oh, I'm hungry. I'll just do a little bit of math to see how much time we have left. After all, we've always got to get our noggins going. Enjoyable and educational meetings abound, usually with much less math, thankfully. Not to break the fourth wall here or anything, but why do you think this is a baking show anyway? Because it's fun and you're learning everything you need to know. Awesome, right? The time has finally come. This cake was baked to see the world. All of our members will get a bit out of this recipe and many other recipes, just like we will experience area, district, and international Toastmasters events. Now, we just need to wait a while the cake cools in the pans. On to frosting. Cream cheese. It was made for this dessert. Made to live a life of speaking, but it can always improve. Adjustments can be made for people no matter how far they are along in their journey. For example, cream cheese. I would love if your packaging was easier to open. Seriously, like how? And in we go. Just like every flavor should be tasted, every voice should be heard. Always make sure to ask for guest input during the meeting. What do you think, butter? Wow, that's fascinating. I love listening to and inputting information from my fellow Toastmasters. Sugar, sweet as usual. He's nice and kind, but he knows how to be heard. His voice can be overwhelming sometimes, so we need to get that perfect proportion of words and his listening and teamwork. Next, we add in a little bit of cream. Cream. Just a little tablespoon. All it takes to do the trick. And next, some vanilla. Salt. It can get a bit heavy on the tongue, you know? We use it to enhance flavors and back everything else up. It makes the sweet sweeter, but doesn't drown the dessert out. That's why I like to only add in a teensy bit. No one wants a mouthful of salt. That's why in Toastmasters, we make sure we give that helpful challenge to people, but always remember to lift them up while doing so. The salt, that feedback, the critique, makes it all sweeter. Our speaking, sweeter. Good to me! Just like our rainbow myriad of colors here, we need to make sure our Toastmasters events are varied and fun. Now, to decide. It looks like I've decided. We're going to have teal, violet, and black frosting. An interesting combination. But I assure you, no matter what color our cake will be, it's going to be delicious.
Look, Spatula, I know you were in the Breakfast Club before, but Cake Club really wants to show you our individual ropes. Frosting, spreading, and egg flipping are two very different things. We only have one mentor open right now, but she is quite amazing. Meet Fork. You'll be very well taken care of. Wonderful! Let's get on with decorating.
Frosting. I don't have much to say. It's the icing on the cake. We're gonna get into this fun part.
It's like when you fine-tune a speech. You're like, oh my gosh, I finally know what I'm talking about, and I'm doing good.
That's what this is. We mixed the cake, we baked the cake, we decorated the cake, and finally, we refrigerated the cake. It was a long, arduous wait, but it's finally ready for the big reveal. This is our Toastmasters cake. Now, admittedly, some clubs don't have 20 members. We try, but it doesn't always work. Even when we can't have that many people, just like recipes can't always have 20 ingredients, we make sure every single member counts. Every single ingredient is right there in this cake where it needs to be. The cake is strong and absolutely delectable. Our membership can only be strong if we assure that every single member is an active attendee and enjoying their stay. I know. We all need to learn to bake somehow. And when we do learn, we need to take time to recognize that. I've been discussing it with the other chefs here, and I think you'll like what we came up with. I light this candle in honor of all of us. We've achieved amazing things this Toastmaster year through adversity, life events, a lack of sleep, and way too many moths. Seriously, the moths. I want to take this moment to recognize each and every single member, past, present, and future, of Valencia Voices. You are amazing. And now we celebrate. Woo woo! We regularly consume sustenance. Membership building is the food of Toastmasters. We eat, we thrive. I am thriving right now, that's for sure. Hey, I just made a cake. Want some cake? It's really good. This publicity is just like Toastmasters. Hey, I'm a Toastmaster. You want to join? We can have our cake and eat it too. There's some to spare for me and some for you. And the guy over there.
What? What? What do you need?
Let's now take time to share our cake and our achievements with the rest of the world. We've got to make sure we have regularly scheduled social events. How else are we going to eat this cake? As speakers, humans, and Toastmasters, we can benefit greatly from inter-club events. None of us can go it alone. I certainly can't eat this cake by myself. I hope you're hungry, because this cake ain't eating itself, and that's the truth. I'm Chef Reyna. It was a pleasure having you here today in Toastmasters Kitchen. On to frosting. We need to learn. I need to stop laughing. I need to stop. Just like we will, just like we It's like, oh, oops. It always smells so good, but every time you taste it, you have a lot of regrets. Which hand was this on? But, yes, ovens are hot. Is to simply eat the frosting. Delicious. Tastes like frosting. I can't even see it right here. Okay, airplane. Oops. I'm smart. I have brains. Always make sure to get it. Ah! I'm off for. I feel like I've created a sponge throwing monster. We regularly consume. Who needs exact measurements? I might regret that later. Just poured it out. Oh, there goes the cake. This cake was baked to see the world. These cakes? This cake. These two layers of a cake. This cake. These eggs are the most ornery eggs I've ever met in my life. Thank you. So how's your day?
Oh.
What else would I
You're talking to frosting.
How's your day, Frosting? Maybe 5, maybe 10. That was awkward. That was awkward. This oil means that was so awkward. Because otherwise my hands are like, woo! Woo! I am an adult. Doesn't mean I got this, but they don't need to know.